Welcome to the World Warriors of Capcom Cup. My name is Ultra David. This is the Player Showcase.
And I'm James Chen. If you guys don't know what the Capcom Pro Tour or the Capcom Cup is, check this YouTube channel, youtube.com/Capcom Fighters TV for the intro video we made. But this is the series of videos where we're going to talk about the 32 players who have qualified for Capcom Cup. That's going to be taking place at the Sony PlayStation Experience on the weekend of December 5th through 6th. Who are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about 801 Strider.
Yeah.
Winter Fox 801 Strider.
Mm-hmm. Gustavo,
That's right.
Player from Utah.
That's right, in the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of an area where it's not one of the hotbeds, but two players, 801 Strider and iPeru, very strong players, have been consistently good players from vanilla all the way through Ultra. Yeah. But they were always just those players that were really good. In fact, I felt like iPeru was better than Gustavo for a long period of time. But during the course of the 7 years that Street Fighter 4 has been around, I have seen a growth in Gustavo. Like, I can't even... I'm not even talking about physically, too, because this guy's... He's been working out. But, like, I'm talking about just in his gameplay. I always pictured him as the kind of player who was just trying very hard, very good and such. I just didn't feel like he quite had it in him to be a top player. And just through the past few years, he's worked so hard, and he absolutely is in that position now.
Yeah, it really feels like he's turned the corner in the past year and a half, something like that, past couple of years for sure. But definitely this year, he has become a big threat.
Yes.
You know, at almost all the tournaments that he goes to, he has been a big threat. Now, we'll talk about his results in a bit, but he plays Abel.
Mm-hmm. Yes, always has.
He always has. He's also played Makoto in the past. Mm-hmm. I know he has an Evil Ryu. He plays regular Ryu. I mean, he sort of dabbles around. He and iPeru both do that to help each other train. Mm-hmm. But Abel is his main, and as far as I know, the only character he's planning to use. Right. I mean, I've talked with him this year a couple of times, and he's like maybe said he might go with a different character, but it never happens.
Right.
So I'm just expecting Abel. But that's fine, because Abel is super good.
Right.
Abel is a very good character, IMO. Lots of damage output, excellent footsies. He has the weakness that a bunch of characters have, which is not the best wake-up game in the world. Mm-hmm. Not the best anti-airs in the world. But he has tools to deal with them. They're just not traditional tools. And Gustavo has that stuff. He has the anti-air placings. He has tech, option select tech, to deal with people who want to dive kick pressure him, for example. He has chase down tech. I really like his... I really feel like he's a good tech type of player. He has option selects and that sort of stuff. I think that's very important for Abel.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting because you mentioned that, he likes Makoto, Evil Ryu, Abel. Look, he's a fan of big damage, apparently, because that is one of the things that makes Abel so strong, is because, and you'll see this in the match a couple of times, Abel, as long as he has 2 bars and his ultra all ready to go, it's like he's never out of a round. You know what I mean? It's just any one mistake, step kick, dead.
Right. He has one of the best... I'm in mid-range, all of a sudden I dealt 400 damage tools of anybody. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe the best in step kick. As far as how he plays Abel, his style, some people are super mix-up heavy, some people will bet the farm. I don't really feel like that's Gustavo. Mm-hmm. I feel like he is more of a fundamental Z sort of Abel. Sometimes he makes risks, you have to do that to play the character. But fewer than other people. I really feel like he's more of a sort of patient footsies player who turns it into huge damage and solid mix-ups.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I will say is, obviously there's players with a lot of the natural talent in there that they just picked up the joystick and they're just amazing at Street Fighter right away. Yeah. And Gustavo has even said this about himself, is that he doesn't feel like he's one of those players. I do feel like he's one of those hard work, persistent kind of players. And you can kind of see it. And in fact, we'll even see it in this matchup as well as when we get to this match video, because, it doesn't start well for him. Right. And it's just not one of those situations where I feel like he's just gonna I'm just gonna hunker down and do it. I mean, it really looks like as the match goes, you can see him like, okay, remember this, and by playing a lot and by having all those things and trying to remember these things and keep those things in mind, that's how he succeeds. And, he has put himself in the position to be one of the top 10 players in the United States now, maybe even top 5 in the United States.
Yeah, probably. Let's talk about how he did this year.
Sure.
All right, in Ultra Street Fighter 4. So going back to last year at UFGT 10, he got 7th. At the Fall Classic, he got 7th. Winter Brawl 9, this year, 5th. NorCal Regionals, 9th. Texas Showdown, 4th. CEO, 2nd. Evo, 17th. EGL Dallas, 5th. Summer Jam, 9th. First Attack, 4th. The Fall Classic, 5th. SoCal Regionals, 17th. True Challengers Costa Rica, 2nd. And then Canada Cup, 17th. So there are some good results in there. 2nd place at CEO, where he beat a list that includes it was like Mago, Daigo, Momochi, Daiminion.
Yeah,
it was remarkable.
It was a ridiculous list. Yeah.
And in other tournaments, he's beaten Pierre Balrog. And, he has a lot of lists of strong players that he's beaten, but he doesn't have a tournament win.
Right.
Among those big majors, he doesn't have a tournament win.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's like I said, that kind of characterizes that my opinion that he is just a very hard worker. That he plays very hard and he gets very consistent results, but he just hasn't quite made that one leap, into a tournament victory. So, a lot of people may argue that will be something that makes it so that he's not one of the top 5 players in the States and such, but like you said, that list that he had in CEO, he was on fire. He was playing ridiculous that whole event. And, if that was a great example of where Gustavo could be.
Actually, that's where we're going to watch the match from. It's going to be Mad Catz Mago, his opponent. This is top 8 at CEO. Yang versus Abel. Starts out like a blow-up. Starts out badly for 801 Strider.
And keep in mind, this was like during the period where Mago was hot. Like, he was on fire at this point. He was winning all these events in Asia, defeating a lot of really, really strong players.
Yeah, he seemed like one of the big threats coming into CEO for sure.
So let's just go right into this here. And as we said, it's not going to start well. Mago is going to have a lot of great reads. He's going to push 801 Strider into the corner a bunch of times. And 801 Strider doesn't really have an answer to the dive kick. And, that is going to be one of the key things. So we've seen 2 dive kicks, nothing. 3 dive kicks, nothing.
Yeah, this first round, and even the first couple games, really go like how Yang ideally wants them to go. Push the opponent to the corner and just pressure there, especially against Abel. He doesn't have very good anti-dive kick tools, doesn't have very good wake-up tools. Abel wants to keep him in mid-range or Yang knocked down, and that just doesn't even come up. Like Mago Yang is like in there right away.
And you'll also see that too, 801 Strider. This happens to a lot of grappler players, even the best grappler players. Once they get into a position where they are uncomfortable, they go for a lot of command throws because it's kind of like a gather yourself, mentally reset yourself kind of things. And you're going to see 801 Strider go for a lot of command throws, and we saw at the end of that round, he went for one, and sure enough, Mago neutral jumped and was able to defeat him.
So that right there, that meaty step kick was actually an option select. Crouching jab, option select, step kick, dash. He has those tools. Very important to keep in if you're able.
Yeah, Mago, at the start of this, he was just landing every mix-up. Like that mix-up, that reset, air reset, he was like, started like 5 for 5 or 6 out of 6 like every single time.
So you see Gustavo in the red there. That's Iperu we were talking about on the left.
Yep. His teammate from Utah.
That's right. And Mago on the right there. And the CEO wrestling ring.
That's right.
In the background of that as well.
So again, that first match, all Mago.
Yes.
Everything went the way that Mago wanted it to go. That was actually kind of a sick little reset.
I'm not sure that was intentional, but yeah, that was cool. So this is going much more like how Strider wants it to go. There's a lot of mid-range play, which is what he wants.
But again,
it just didn't turn into things.
Yeah, and he just hasn't been able to stop Mago's air game.
Yeah.
Mago has really taken to the air a lot, and Gustavo just hasn't given him any reason not to do it. And that's actually going to be one of the big changes we'll see once things start going Gustavo's way a little bit more.
Well, he did try the air-to-air right there, although it got punished.
Yeah. It was I think it was probably the wrong button because later on we'll see him go with a lower attack and it does work. So.
Mm. You're right. Abel is never out of it. It always feels, very good time to use that as Mago.
That was sick, yeah.
But, all Abel needs is a step kick. If he had been just a few pixels closer there, he might have beaten out that crouching jab, or that jab, and taken the round.
And if he gets a counter hit, he's really good at seeing the counter hit on the step kick and going into raw, low fears, because he didn't have the meter for the FADC. Nice. And now you see right now Gustavo has started switching to regular throw a little bit more. That's already one adaptation that we saw. But he hasn't been able to stop Mago's neutral jumping. Mago's neutral jumping has really given him a lot of problems. Now Mago's just toying with him.
Oh, that's good for Mago to bring out that kind of mix-up at some point. He needs Gustavo to know that all the mix-ups are there.
Yeah, and one of the things that we have said about Mago Yang is that it seems like he's having so much fun playing the character. He's freestyling a lot more. I really like the way he plays it. And those first 2 games, he did everything that he wanted to do to Gustavo. And he got away with all of it.
So now Gustavo and Iparu, they take a little bit of time to go over, some thoughts and really gather stuff. We started to see some improvements there. Neutral jump attempt, air to air, regular grabs. We saw some more extended neutral game play. It just didn't. I feel like there's some execution issues that didn't result in knockdowns for him.
Right.
So there were some things that were almost there. We're going to see him figure out better tools as they're talking about things.
And one of the key adaptations in this match is just going to be the way that he deals with Mago in the air.
You saw that backdash right there to reset the situation? There's the fierce.
Yeah, close fierce, which he hadn't used up until just this point. And
he's finding better spots already.
Yeah, but again, here we are in the corner again. That's pretty much where Mago has kept 801 Strider. So let's see if he can get himself out now.
So there were some cautious jabs from Strider.
Yeah, you can see he's not committing as much now. He's poking with the stand short a lot more as well, which is a much safer move to throw out. You see, any other button might have gotten hit by that dive kick in that situation. But again, Mago still has him in the corner, and you're right. Like right at the start of this, you said it looks like it was just going to be a blow-up. It just looked like it was going to be one of those situations where Japan was going to take out U.S., but they're perfect example.
That's Abel. That's Abel. He finds a step kick. That was one backdash into 45% of Yang's life. I mean, that's a big damage combo. And as Gustavo in that kind of situation, it helps you sort of get back into it. You feel like, okay, I can do this. First time he had used that.
Right. So, and then again, the regular throw. So that victory, that round, I feel like really, really helped him. And you saw, again, it's a close fierce. We saw that regular throw not get punished by the neutral jump. He's definitely made a lot of, changes to his gameplay that were causing him damage.
The thing is, whenever Yang hits you, you're cornered.
Yeah. The corner carry of his combos is ridiculous.
Yeah. So now we see Strider's defense, because Mago senses a stun. And, look at Strider. Blocking, had the tech at the right time. That was good.
Yeah, but again, see, in this situation, he is definitely not out of this because...
one read.
Oh, right. And now everyone's thinking he's going for the hit. Yep, gets another throw. Oh, wow. He just missed that link. But again, the same backdash to avoid that command throw, and he's going to take that one. And and again, you see the kind of mental change in him now. All of a sudden, he's looks like he's kind of pumped up.
We've seen tools that Abel's had this whole time that Gustavo just wasn't using or wasn't in the right position to use, and now he's more consistently putting himself at the right spot on screen. He's more consistently thinking about those tools. Mago has very strong pressure. Right there.
That stands strong.
That's strong.
Anti dive kick, and see he hadn't used that, and now jump back fierce. So that's like the fourth tool now we've seen to do for anti dive kicks.
Backdash to reset the situation.
He's at EX Skyfall. He's at that close fears. Nice. There's that close fierce again. Oh, one of my favorite Abel mix-ups.
Yeah, solid.
Oh, and
that's a good read.
Yeah. But then Mago, getting a little bit of his pressure. But nice little sequence there from Gustavo. You see how he's able to kind of take control of the situation now.
Right. And all of that was very cautious. So, like I said, I don't think of him as being an able player who will bet the farm very often. I really think of him as being more like looking for solid opportunities a lot of the time. I think that was an excellent display of that. He won while doing it.
Right. Yeah, and trying to use that wheel kick a little bit, and there was that stand strong. Just all these different weapons to try to shut down that air game.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's just a good sign to see players adapt like that. And I really do like the use of the stand short that he's been going to a lot more now. But there you go again, Mago, that mix-up, man.
Yeah, that's tricky.
That's
for sure
that
tricky.
all over the place. Oh no, that is a huge problem.
Oh, he got hit twice, James. In the last 10 seconds, he got hit 2 times.
That's all
and
it took.
Died.
That's all it took. And yep, there it is. And now, Gustavo, 801 Strider, tying it up 2-2. And now you can see the nervousness showing up on Mago's face a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Mago has respect for Strider.
Yeah.
Mago makes some good adjustments in this last game for sure.
Oh yeah.
But so does Strider.
Yeah, there is one situation that's just gonna come up that, like, I remember because we were obviously watching this live, and when Mago, like, you'll see this at the end of one of the rounds, he basically goes ham.
Yes.
After that, I thought Gustavo was done because dude, so many people would be broken after that situation. And Mago's probably thinking, do I want to do Fei Long or do I want to do Yang?
I definitely think Yang is the better choice.
Sidekick characters have always been decent against Abel. I've done really, have had good matchups against Abel.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very easy to punish with command throws thanks to dive kicks.
Just good to bully him with, which we've seen Mago do.
Unfortunate start there. Just get hit by a crumple. Now hey, guess what? Corner.
It happens
sometimes. There it is. That neutral jump kick. So he switched buttons that time. So, yeah, and then that stand fierce. Great anti-air. Again, stand fierce. Yeah, he's just going at it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, great confirm off of counter hit step kick.
Keeps the corner for himself as well.
Oh.
So now Mago has a huge comeback to make.
Yeah, off of a dropped combo. Strider missed his combo.
Right.
Guess what?
Oh, what a reset.
Mago is... Do
you remember those 2 rounds that Strider won with backdash out of command grab and punish for the win?
Right.
I really feel like that was what Mago used to set that up. So that was like his losses in those rounds. I feel like set that up for himself. So that was I love that adaptation from him.
Oh yeah,
that was really smart.
And yeah, like I said, you have all the momentum.
Yes.
You look like you're going to take that first round. Then Mago takes you out. Look, you lose, and then there's ways that you lose that sometimes you feel a little embarrassed.
Yeah, you feel bad.
Yeah, and here comes Mago, same mix-up again, and he is here, putting himself in perfect position to take this. And like I said, Gustavo, I feel like he is kind of a little bit like a person who can get his own head, but a big mistake from Mago.
Yes.
And that really swings a lot of the momentum back for Gustavo, in my opinion. And there it is. So now we're going to the last round. Yeah, and like I said, after Mago got those 4 command throws in a row, it's just, God.
It's tough to make a comeback from that mentally.
Yeah.
It really is. Regardless of character and player.
You have to forget so well. You have to just throw it out of your brain like it never happened.
Right. Oh, there's that follow-up.
But here we go, Gustavo.
And I love the spot on screen he's picking. He's really trying to outrange.
And see him he's just good defense in that situation, not overextending himself. And he has this really sizable lead. Oh.
Yeah, perfect timing on that. And there you go. He walked forward for the step kick. Like we said, Abel is one of the best characters at being mid-range, all of a sudden a ton of damage.
Right.
But his expression there, that exasperated
you see relief. You saw the exhale sigh of relief right there.
The look to the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. He made the comeback. I think that's I think that's a really good video to show of him, because there is adaptation in there. There's sort of remembering and figuring out all the tools he needs. A lot of good spacing. Good showcase of what Abel can do in a matchup that can be tough. As we see, Yang is really good at getting in and bullying, but he made that work. Gustavo made that work.
Yeah. And, you know, another thing that I liked about it was it really does illustrate, in my opinion, that, you know, I'm trying to figure out the right way to say it, but, you know, he's not an emotional player, but I feel like he thinks about stuff a lot, like he questions a lot of things and stuff like that. And so, you know, that sigh of relief at the end when he won there, you know, the look to the sky and everything like that, that's very indicative of how I feel like he doesn't show it, but I feel like he's putting it all out there on the table. You know what I mean? Like, he's playing all the cards, and all of his energy is going into it. So it's great to see a player like him get to this point where he is such a threat.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I like a lot of things for him going into Capcom Cup. You know, we mentioned the possible issues. One major one is that he hasn't won a big major, right? And it's tough to imagine your first major win being Capcom Cup, although possible. Like I said, I like a lot of things for him going into it. I feel like Abel is just an excellent character choice in tournaments. That character deals very well with a lot of the top tier, commonly played characters. Not if you just were to look at all of the matchups in the game, I'm not sure I would say he's top 10. But when it comes to characters like Evil Ryu, Elena, Ken, Sagat, like just very commonly used characters, he has a lot of good things going for him. So I feel like he'll be in a good situation character-wise. And, you know, like I said, I like his fundamentals. I think he has a good set of fundamentals on him, just mid-range and thumbs up.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the biggest weakness that he has, like I said, very much, you know, all the emotions are out there, you know, not necessarily, you know, displayed, but I just know that he thinks about it a lot. I hope he doesn't hurt himself that way at this event. I hope he doesn't overthink it. I hope he doesn't, you know, just be like, oh, God, I really need, you know what I mean? Like, I hope he goes into this with utmost confidence. He has every reason to feel confident because he's been doing well. Like you said, at CEO, when he was at his best, he beats everybody. And even the person that he lost to in Grand Finals, which is Kazunoko, if you remember, in Winners Finals, he went toe-to-toe with Kazunoko. In fact, he barely lost that match to him.
Right.
You know, so when he is playing at his highest level, it's obvious he can beat Momochi, he can beat Daigo. And in fact, I heard Momochi largely switch to Evil Ryu because he just didn't want to play Ken versus Abel, you know, after losing to Strider at CEO. You know, so he's definitely capable in that, and I really, really hope he goes into this event very confident and just like ready to take names, basically.
You know, Abel has the most main character representatives of any of the characters in Capcom Cup.
Really?
Tied with a couple of other characters.
Okay.
Yeah, there are 3 of them.
So it's Strider,
Shiro, and Keoma.
Oh, Keoma, of course. Oh, nice. Okay. Gonna see some Abel brawls here.
I feel like the issue for him is just, you know, can he close it out? I feel like to be as sort of vapid and sportsy as possible. Is he a closer?
Right.
Does he win games?
Can he push it up to 110%?
Exactly right. There is something to be said for coming into a tournament with the weight or without the weight of feeling like you have to win your first tournament and it to be this giant thing. So, but that said, like I said, I like his chances. I feel like he has a good chance to make a deep run. I really feel that.
You know, I mean, I know we've said this about a lot of people, and obviously all 32 players here are super good.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's something to be said, like when you're going up against Daigo or Momochi, you know they're one of the best players in the world, right? And you feel like you should be beating some of the other players. But I just feel like Gustavo is going to be one of those players that's going to make everybody nervous.
Yeah, you have to take him seriously.
Yeah, you're going to go up to him. You're just like, man, if I make one mistake, I'm dead, right? So, you know, and it's not just because it's Abel. It's because he's so good at taking advantage of it. And to put himself, it's like one mistake dead doesn't happen because Abel is good. It's because Gustavo put himself in that position to land that, right? Gustavo's absolutely capable of that. So again, if I'm anyone else at Capcom Cup, he's one of the tough ones to want to go up against, because it's just like you want to feel like I want to go up against Momochi and Daigo, but you got to get past this guy. It's like
For sure. Well, that'll be at Capcom Cup, which is the weekend of December 5th through 6th at the Sony PlayStation Experience in San Francisco, California. You can go. It is possible.
Watch it live.
That's right. But if you can't, it will be on the internets at twitch.tv/Capcom Fighters. Make sure that you follow them and subscribe to them on Twitter at Capcom Fighters as well to have an idea of when they're going to go live.
Yep, that's right. And if you really like the stuff that we're doing here, analyzing videos, analyzing matches and stuff, we have our own YouTube and Twitch as well. YouTube.com, twitch.tv/UltraChenTV. So
that's right. And on that, we do a host of things. We help out newish type players, people who want to learn sort of the basics of fighting games. We introduce new games. We talk about high-level play. We also review the weekend fighting games every Tuesday night, talk about the news and tournament results and drama and whatever else is going on. So
that's right.
Check it out if you're interested.
Yeah, but for sure, hopefully you'll get a chance to watch Capcom Cup, because it is going to be one of the greatest Ultra Street Fighter 4 tournaments ever.
All right, see you then.